Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. This Ratchet right here, she talks some. Actually, she makes a lot of sense within her ratchetness. As women are starting to realize that a man can deal with more than one woman, all right? And that's just how nature set things up through Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay, all that one man, one woman bullshit. Women know that that's a bunch of bullshit. But see, due to feminism, they have been duped into believing that mindset that a man is only subjected to one woman in this kingdom, when women outnumber us 10-1, not 7-1, but 10-1. And what proves that is because, hell, think about it, right? You can go, let's say if you go to an outside spot, a brunch, or hell, you can be at work or whatever, and you can just have a particular aura about you, and yet more than one woman will be trying to compete for your attention, which proves right there that they all know that they supposed to share a man. Okay, and subconsciously they know that. Like it was a video that came out because, you know, they got what they call singles, like the dating single shit, like when the women will put together these particular single events, and about 200 women to show up and maybe like 5 guys, and then it'll be those 200 women trying to compete for the 5 men that's in the room because ain't no man there, you know. But even if that was 100 men, 200 women would be competing for those 100 men, meaning that there would be 2 women apiece for each guy up in there. Okay, and like I said, through the Spirit and subconsciously they know these things, but due to feminism and pride and the wickedness of this damn devil, they have been believed. Women believe that they are the prize when in fact they are not. Okay, and what proves that is the fact that we can bring back and populate whole nations off one man. Okay, versus a woman, when she dies off, or let's just say if you die off, right? She can't bring you back unless it's through the seed of your own particular lineage or your own people. But let's just say if we all died off as Israelite men and they left Keisha in the northern kingdom left to fare to bear children, then what will happen is that they will bear the children of the heathen instead of the Israelites, man, which is completely unnatural. So Isaiah 4:1 is getting ready to come back in a big way. And these women, they can feel it. Okay, the squeeze is up. Fucking Trump and these tariffs. Rent is getting ready to go high. Fucking eggs, $20 a carton. People can barely afford to live anymore. And you think that these women, you think they're survivalists, man. They're opportunists. You know? So with that being said, I'm gonna let this ratchet chick break it down because, I mean, you know, like I said, she was ratchet as hell. But, you know, she make a few good points. And to be technically honest, I mean, shit, you can't really scoff at some of the things she said. All right. So anyway, let me play this video and we'll get a couple of precepts and that'll be that. So here we go.
I ain't finna be one of y'all bitches around here hunching on the motherfucking rainbow man. I want me a masculine mandingo warrior. And if he already with you, I don't get no fuck. Slide the fuck over. Tag me in, bitch.
But the thing of it is, you too damn masculine. So a masculine man ain't gonna deal with you for real. He may pop you, but he ain't gonna deal with you for real because you too goddamn masculine. That's like 2 men in the same goddamn household, laying in the same bed. Eventually, somebody's gonna get beat up. All right? It ain't gonna be the real man. All right? Women like her gotta get her shit rocked before she come to the realization that her mouth is too much. But nonetheless, let her break it down.
Every 100 black women, 6.66 men that are heterosexual, that ain't incarcerated, ain't a part of the rainbow community, gotta worry about if you wearing your fucking fishnet. Y'all gonna stop playing with these black men like they ain't relevant right now. Black men very motherfucking relevant. And all on social media. Everybody, a nigga can put on a motherfucking wig and get more clout than a masculine, hard-working, activist black man. I'm sick of it. And then these hoes, they support it. The internet algorithm supports people who want to be hoes, mentally unstable, because they make a joke out of us saying we got mental health awareness. That shit ain't fucking cute on the internet. They let that shit ride through the motherfucking internet while people posting their kids and shit to make a mockery out of us. They let a nigga in a motherfucking lace front wig get that bag on the internet to make a mockery of us. 48% of our black men are gay. 36% of our black men are incarcerated. So everybody say on my pages, oh, we're not at that time yet to share the man. Since when? We've been sharing these niggas since the beginning of the genocide. We might as well hold hands and kumbaya around this bitch. I ain't finna be one of y'all bitches around here hunching.
You heard what she said. Right. And see, because these women, they want to share men when it's convenient for them, when they have nothing else to go to. Once the jobs and the money and the well runs dry, that's when these women are going to try to get up and try to hunt men down and want to be under their harem. But that ain't how that work. Okay, since its inception, we was able to have more than one woman because that's just how the fuck we're programmed. And they know that shit. But like I said, due to feminism, this is the result of it. A bunch of independent boss women. Well, they think they're independent and think they're bosses, but clearly they're not. Okay. Now, she made a comment. She said 6.66 black men are not homosexual. And that's less than 10% if I'm reading that right. 48% of our men go both ways, or down low, or just flat out mowed out. And you see a lot of that more common out there. You see a lot of that attitude, a lot of that behavior becoming more and more common, especially since the last administration and going back to Obama's 2 terms, 2008 to 2016. That's when all the weirdos came out of the closets and this all liberation shit and this whole left-wing woke movement agenda, all that folly that has shaped the world we lived in to the point you got to accept a sugar boy being a team lead over you, man, or making decisions for your team when clearly he operates like a fucking woman. You see? But she make a lot of sense, man. Because like I said, y'all outnumber us 7-1. And it's going to get to the point that either you get with it or you're just going to be left behind. All right? So let's go here, the book of Genesis, because men always had more than one wife. I mean, to your situation. Now, we're not telling brothers out there to go out there and deal with as many women as you can. No, because, I mean, that could be counterproductive, too. Okay, you don't want to deal with something that's counterintuitive, intuitive to the point that it's against your best judgment and you bring in a damn harem of demons in your home and they run you out of house and home and you found yourself in some shit. Nah, man, because even within women, you got to use wisdom. And on top of that, you have to be on a level to deal, or you have to be on some type of a level to deal with women, man, because they come with all types of shit, man. Okay, a bunch of head games, a bunch of mind games. When the reality of it is they just need to be dominated and ruled over. All right? So this is the book of Genesis 6, and I'm going to start at verses 1, and it says, "And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, daughters were born unto them." Okay, now why the hell do you think it said daughters? And when it says when men began to multiply on the earth, why the hell do you think that the Most High created more women than men? Even in your families, you go to a family reunion, 80% of the motherfuckers are going to be fucking women. They're going to be bitches. All right? Let's just keep it a buck. It's going to be a bunch of bitches and hoes there. Maybe 20% of men and 15% of them niggas going to be gay. So let's be real. So how in the fuck are we supposed to just sit up here and deal with a one woman apiece? And yet you got, let's just say it's 7 billion women, 8 billion, 1 billion men. So that means you're going to have 6 billion women that's without child, lonely, without any type of sexual relations, any connections. And they just supposed to be fucked out of luck. While you women just get it all, right? But that's not how it works, because even in the real world, women compete for the top men. Like it was this one guy that I think he went on a Kendra show, the Kendra G, whatever the bitch's name is. I guess he went on her show and she put it out there. And even in her face, she was kind of wooed by it. She was like, well, I heard you was worth $350 million. And when you saw the look in her face, she looked like she was literally like a kid. Like she just had that kid glaze in her eyes all over again. Confusion, happy, don't know what to do with herself, full of fake masculinity, toxic as all hell. But yet, if you see the look on her face, she looked like, God damn, shit, how can I get up with this man? And then all of a sudden they showed a video of his Snapchat DM. And it wasn't nothing but women hitting this dude up, trying to be his woman, all because they found out that this dude is worth $350 million, man. So you cannot tell me that bitches are not willing to share dude if they feel that there's going to be some benefactor behind it. Okay, you dudes out there, they be getting plays. Oh, nah, Man, they be playing with y'all, bro. They only do that because they don't respect you. But a real woman respects a man that have other women, or that other women want him, because that makes her work twice as hard. Okay, your woman's supposed to be competing for you, man. Ain't none of that, oh, okay, baby, you my only one. And if you only want to deal with one, that's fine. We're not knocking you for it. But at the same time, women don't respect that because they want to be able to fight over your ass, man. You know, and like, shit, chicks I meet, I keep it a buck. I'm like, look, and they already know. You know, I ain't even got to say nothing. They just already know. They already know I'm not going to commit to them. For what? You know, just be even lucky that I'm even talking to you. And I'm not even saying it like I'm just this big shot, top dog motherfucker. No, but you gotta have a certain type of confidence and aura about yourself, and the fact that you have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is the top, like my man Yakia say, the creme de la creme. Okay, you have the highest form of wisdom on the planet Earth. And sometimes, man, you gotta let it show. You gotta let it show through your spirit. You know, like we was at work today, and I'm gonna get the precepts Salakia if I'm going on. But we was at work today, and we was all talking about, I was the only guy in there. Had my supervisor in there, and you had 3 other women in there. You know, I work with these women, so, you know, it ain't no hard feelings or nothing. But I straight up said, because one chick, she was like, well, you know, I was told I was superficial. I'm like, because you are. She said, how you figure? I'm like, the story you just told us, you're superficial. You didn't want to get with the guy because you didn't like his smile or his teeth. You know, and I had to put it in perspective for her, and she couldn't do nothing but honor that. And I'm like, this is why y'all don't know what y'all want. I'm like, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all want. And I'm talking about, you got my supervisor, she done to touching 60, and she couldn't even say shit. I'm like, that's why your fathers married y'all off as young women, because y'all don't know how to choose men. And none of them couldn't say shit. They just look like, damn, it's absolutely right. Because none of them got real men that would tell them the real ordeal. You know, that's what makes us different, man, because we'll tell your ass what it is. Of course, in the right situation. You know, with me, it's more like a right time and right place. You know, when I can open up and kind of, you know, let my nuts hang a little bit, you know, then I will, you know, get to telling, not going overly into what I'm about, but really kicking the ballistics about the roles of men and women, because there's no discussion. I'm a man, you a woman. We both have places we supposed to thrive in. You supposed to be underneath me, and you supposed to serve me. And they know that shit, but it's just not enough men that's willing to tell them that shit. So therefore, they buck up against it. But it says here that the sons of the power saw the daughters of men that they were fair. And what does fair mean? Mean good looking, fine. All right. Go down to Miami. I guarantee you see one woman, you see 2, you're gonna see them all. You know, but dealing with these westernized women, they'll get mad at you, man, because you a fucking man. Oh, what you doing looking at her? Fuck you mean what I'm doing looking at her? She's right here. She's showing the fuck I'm not gonna look. Hell, that's my God-given right. The Most High gave me eyes. Hey, men, we are visual. And we see if that's what we want, then that's what the fuck we want. Now, do we always go for it and get it? No, we don't have to. But you can't condemn a man because of what his eyes see and what it likes. Because the scriptures say that nothing is more glorious than a woman's beauty if it's in the right perspective. You know? But yet a woman would totally destroy her whole fucking household based on because you looked at another chick that was half naked when she should have been the one that's covering up. So I gotta discipline myself and turn away just so the bitch I'm with don't get offended. What kind of bullshit is that? Especially if the chick I'm looking at ain't got no man, then what sin is that? When women do it all the goddamn time. Hell, they even look at each other. Damn, she bad. But anyway, it says that the sons of God, which the sons of God is basically another way of saying the Israelite. This is basically the Israelites before we were called Israelites. Okay? The sons of the Most High, the princes of power, which Yashar Allah means princes of God. He, prince of God. Okay? And if you're the son of a king, then you're a prince. Which basically, the sons of God before we were called Israelites were basically the Israelites. That same line. All right? And it says that the sons of the Most High, so that the daughters of men, that they were fair. And these are talking about women of the other nations. And they took them wives of all which they chose. Okay, so they ain't just take one wife. They didn't just take 2. They took many wives, and they had their ways with the ones they wanted. Okay, prime example, when you go to that pop the balloon shit, it be all them women on there, scantily clad, but it be one dude. And they all going on there to compete for that one man. But if the guy was good enough according to their standards, they all would try to deal with that one man. So you can't tell me that women don't know this shit. They know. It's just you suckers out there, you simps. You just have no goddamn backbone, no courage, man. All right, point blank, period. And it says, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with men, for that he is also flesh, and yet his days should be 120 years. But going back, the point is, it says they took them wives of which they chose. So it was a common thing for men to take on women that they wanted to be with. And that's coming back in a very, very big way. Even what Keisha said, she said, look, men have always been shared by women. Simple. Another precept. Second Chronicles, this goes into Rehoboam, which Rehoboam was wicked. But let's get the context on it. It said here, and Rehoboam took him Mahalath, the daughter of Jermoth, the son of David, to wife, and Abihail, the daughter of Eliab, the son of Jesse, which bare him children, Joash and Shemariah and Zaham, and took he her. It says, and after he took her to Malchah, the daughter of Absalom, she bare him Abijah and Attai and Zizah and Shelomith. And Rehoboam loved Maachah, the daughter of Absalom, above all his wives and concubines. Okay, so there you go. And it says, for he took 18 wives and 60 concubines, all right? 60 concubines, bro, because a score is 20. Okay, so you 20, 40, 60, 60. So make sure we reading that right. Let's get into the New Living Testament because it actually breaks it down. But it says here, Rehoboam loved Maachah more than any of his other wives and concubines, and in all he had 18 wives and 60 concubines. And this was a wicked nigga, man. Okay, Rehoboam was wicked. He did evil in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. It says, and they gave birth to 28 sons and 60 daughters. Why the hell do you think he had more than one? Why the hell you think he had more daughters than sons? Because eventually, over the course of time, those daughters were going to be given it to other men, about however many divided, and then they was going to have children, and therefore. That's why it's notably more women in the family than men. All right? And it says here, and Rehoboam appointed Maachah's son, Abijah, as leader among the princes, making it clear that he would be the next king. But Rehoboam also wisely gave responsibilities to his other sons and stationed some of them in the fortified towns throughout the land of Judah and Benjamin. And he provided them with generous provisions, and he found many wives for them. So there you go, bro. It ain't a new thing. Men have always had a desire to have more than one. Why the fuck you think niggas go and have chicks on the side? And those are the men that don't, even if they don't do it, trust me, they've thought about it. Okay, they just didn't understand the liberty that they can do that under the liberty of the Most High because they didn't want to offend their wife. Not saying that you got to go out there and deal with two women. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's completely lawful and it's okay. All right, and that this doctrine alone has broken up many families in the truth, or many women have left brothers or got put away by brothers because they couldn't get out of their feelings about Isaiah 4:1, which they're going to wish they hadn't. Okay, they're going to wish that they had stuck around in a coming time because, hey, the times we're getting ready to go into, another woman is going to be your least concerns, man, compared to the type of hell that's getting ready to come to Babylon the Great. Isaiah 4:1. It says, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. It says, we will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids, man. Okay, Isaiah 4:1. And this is the reason why. You go down here to Isaiah 3 and you start at verses 16, the Lord starts stripping their ass down. All right. And matter of fact, when you go here to verse 25, it says the men of the city will be killed with the sword, and her warriors will die in battle, and the gates of Zion will weep and mourn, and the city will be like ravaged women huddled on the ground. So when shit hits the fan and martial law takes place and the pestilence and famines, and the race wars and the civil wars and the world. Hey, look, these women gonna want to come up under your rulership, man, because they're gonna see that you're gonna be without. I mean, you're gonna be well without the need of the society, and you're gonna be well within the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's why, hey, brothers, man, if you ain't getting chicks now, don't even worry about it, because it's gonna come a time. Look, the Lord, He's all about balance. Okay, those you brothers that ain't getting the chicks now, hey, you may be the main ones that get the chicks, because the Lord does things in balance. You know, notice shorties are changing their tune. You know, they thirsty. Of course, you got the simps and these goofy ass niggas out here that like to, you know, kind of shit on Jake. But regardless of it, them men are gonna die, as we just read in Isaiah 3:25. They gonna be put to death in the streets of America, man. So all the YNs and the simps and the so-called tough guys, man, you ain't gonna have to worry about them. They're gonna be moved right out the way. And the women are gonna understand that the real men of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai was the one that held it down from the beginning. All right. And the crazy part about it is that majority of the women that's gonna come for us, they're gonna be put to death. They're gonna die. Okay, because they weren't right anyway. Because you know what? They weren't paying attention to what we had to say. And they didn't care about the truth. But instead, they bucked up against it because they had liberty to do so. So when it's times for the tables to turn, they not gonna have ain't gonna have no leg to stand on. And this goes into it. 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm gonna start at verses 31. It says here, even so in those days there should be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword, and the earth should be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man should travel there through. Why? Because the cities are going to be pretty much empty, because there's going to be a lot of dead out here. All right. And it says here, and the virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms, and the women shall mourn having no husbands, and the daughters shall mourn having no helpers. And in the wars shall thy bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So by default, it's going to leave the women to try to seek the men of the Most High. But unfortunately for them, a lot of them are going to be rejected. You know, we're going to be paired up with the ones that we're supposed to be paired up with. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to end it. Giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.
I ain't finna be one of y'all bitches around here hunching on the motherfucking rainbow man. I want me a masculine Mandingo warrior. And if he already with you, I don't get no fuck. Slide the fuck over. Tag me in, bitch. Because for every 100 black women, 6.66 men that are heterosexual, that ain't incarcerated, ain't a part of the rainbow community, gotta worry about if you wearing your fucking fishnet. Y'all gonna stop playing with these black men like they ain't relevant right now. Black men very motherfucking relevant. And all on social media. Everybody, a nigga can put on a motherfucking wig and get more clout than a masculine, hard-working, activist black man. I'm sick of it. And then these hoes, they support it. The internet algorithm supports people who want to be hoes, mentally unstable, because they make a joke out of us saying we got mental health awareness. That shit ain't fucking cute on the internet. They let that shit ride through the motherfucking internet while people posting their kids and shit to make a mockery out of us. They let a nigga in a motherfucking lace front wig get that bag on the internet to make a mockery of us. 48% of our black men are gay. 36% of our black men are incarcerated. So everybody say on my pages, oh, we're not at that time yet to share the man. Since when? We've been sharing these niggas since the beginning of the genocide. We might as well hold hands and kumbaya around this bitch. I ain't finna be one of y'all bitches